were very apprehensive about this legalization of marijuana, medicinal legalization, but you've certainly come around here.
Yeah, absolutely. First and foremost, when we were discussing the Compassionate Care Act, there were some concerns we expressed. Not that opposed the concept of trying to find ways to help those who have a need,
right,
and that could ease pain and suffering. But there were some issues that, as we were looking at it, about taxing. For instance, you know, we don't tax medicine, we tax drugs, but we were going to tax this. And also how they were going to identify who was going to be available, because I think people that have PTSD, some of the vets really should be considered for this.
Yeah, yeah.
And then it was the timing again, too. So there were a number of issues. It wasn't a conceptual thing, but more the logistics of the bill and how the process was going to unfold. But once the Compassionate Care Act became law, I began talking to Julie and Pat. I got to meet Mackenzie. And it made sense that when you have young people like Mackenzie who could be helped, we should find a quicker way to have that access. Now, we did ask for a waiver from the federal government because, as you know, the Department of Justice has the authorization and regulation over state by state on how we deal with marijuana. So as a result, from a medicinal perspective, including. So basically then, the waiver was denied, which surprised me, quite honestly, because I thought the Obama administration would look more favorably on this, considering all the elements that have been.
Considering the book that Obama had, I mean, he was like a huge proponent of marijuana in his early days.
So that was kind of surprising and shocking. So as a result of that, we met with Pat and Julie, and Mackenzie made some trips to Albany, and it shows the power of involvement.
Yeah.
We got to talk about ideas and possibilities.
You saw a different side of this whole thing.
Absolutely, but we saw a demonstrated need here, and while the law is the law, to me there was no reason why we shouldn't find a quicker way to allow these individuals, particularly youngsters like Mackenzie, to have that access.
So the law is in play. Obviously that was done in 2014, but it doesn't go into effect until 2016. So the question is, why should Mackenzie have to wait? One patient who this is a critical need here, why should she have to wait? And this bill solves, at least gets to start solving that problem.
Correct, and we had discussions with the governor's office. Chairman of the health committee, Dick Gottfried, was very involved in this, and he and I spoke about how we would approach this when I agreed that we should put this forth before the Senate. Difficulty was actually the sponsor of the Compassionate Care Act, Diane Savino, who was the senator, actually opposed this and didn't believe we should be taking this route. So it became a little more challenging.
Why, if it's there?
She just felt that it was moving forward, and that's the way the process had been unfolded. I can't speak for the member, but the bottom line is we had a debate in the Senate, and we were successful in passing it in June, and the Assembly did likewise, and then it was sent to the governor. And quite honestly, from the conversations we were having with the governor's office,
I didn't think he was going to sign it.
We did not believe he was going to sign it.
It was a big surprise when that was signed yesterday.
Again, the organizations that, and Julie can talk more about this, some of the organizations involved were very aggressive and active, and again, when you look at cases like Mackenzie's and having parents like Julie and grandparents like Pat Reed here that are involved, I just want to commend them and compliment them for their tenacity, for their concern and their compassion, not only for Mackenzie's story, but for others too. So congratulations to all of you. I was glad to be a part of this, and we still have to work out some details, but we're moving in the right direction.
And Julie, tell me, I want to get into what has to still be worked out, and we'll get to that in just a bit. But Julie, tell me what this means for you and what it really means for Mackenzie here.
It's another medicine that we could use in our arsenal. I was at work yesterday, and I got the phone call, and my girlfriend that was there with me thought Mackenzie had another incident because I was crying.
Yeah.
And I said, no, he signed the bill. He signed it.
Wow.
And she's
this is like something out of a TV movie or something that you'd see, that he signed the bill. I mean, that's a big deal.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
And I put on Facebook last night, someone pinched me. Is this real?
Yeah.
You know, and thanking everyone.
I was thinking at first, I'm like, is this real?
Yeah. So, Mackenzie, for you, the hope is that this is going to stop, because you never know when you're going to have one of these seizures, right?
Yeah.
And the hope is that this really, and what do we know, based on science, based on the studies that have been done, what kind of reduction are we talking about?
They're saying we could have a 50% chance that this, 50 to 60% chance that this will work.
Work meaning what? Work meaning eliminate?
It will eliminate her
Wow.
seizures. If we, and this, to compare now in her diagnosis, if we introduce a new medication, there's only a 10% chance that that new medication will work.
Right, wow. So this changes everything. It has the potential. Now, has there been any test at all done on Mackenzie at all? Knowing if this works, I mean, you'd have to be on the medicine in order
Yes,
to-
we would have to be on it, and we don't know yet until they iron things out, like.
I know you did this the right way, but you're a parent, and I can only imagine that you'd want to do what I would want to do. And I'd find a state that does it, I'd travel there, and I would smuggle the medicine back. I mean, you had to be tempted to do that.
I was, but I also have licensure that I have to protect, and if I was found smuggling across state
You'd be
lines,
in big trouble.
I would be in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
I would lose my livelihood.
It's a very difficult challenge because you have your daughter in mind, and that's really, it's hard.
Yes.
But now it's done. So I want to, because it's not instant, and I want to get back with Joe and just say, I want a quick break, we'll come right back. Senator Joe Griffo in, and I think
No, you forgot to introduce Bella, though. Bella's
hello,
here, too.
Bella, how are you?
Bella's here today.
Oh, the Bella's the dog. I didn't know. Is that a comfort? What do they call the dogs? That would be
She's a service dog.
She's very patient.
Yeah, she is. She's a good girl.
So if Mackenzie were to have a seizure and someone's not around, the dog is trained to
Trained to respond.
to respond.
And
Wow.
help her.
Well, that's
We have
amazing.
viewers now, too, as well as listeners, that's why I
They
thought
can
that
see the
would
dog.
be-
Good point, Joe. Very good point. All right, hold tight. We'll come right back. And the question is, how long before Mackenzie's going to get her medicine? I think that really is the big question. And it's not instant. We'll come back and get details. Hold tight. 7:18 at WIBX.
First news with G.
I think
I gotta tell you,
he's got two different.
this is Grandma. Is that? You got to get right up to the microphone. For you, this has been a battle for you guys, right?
Yes, it's been a tremendous battle.
Yeah.
And we had the support of Senator Griffo and also Assemblyman Brindisi. He's been phenomenal as well. And Assemblyman Gottfried, all the way down the line. And we were able to meet all of them in Albany when we went down there.
And the process takes, you've got to be like me. It's like, all right, well, let's just do this thing. Let's just get it done.
Get
But
it done,
It doesn't
yes.
work that way in Albany.
No, but just to have the opportunity to make it public and
Yeah.
to put a face on this so that people understand
Yeah.
how detrimental it is to these kids and their life is always in jeopardy.
And imagine being able to, you're taking a 50-50 shot at eliminating the seizures. That is, how do you not fight like crazy for that?
Exactly.
That's a life changer right there. Bring that mic back over, Joe, and I want to ask you, because this is not instant. This is going to take still a little bit of time. This will speed up the process. How long have you estimated how long before Mackenzie can have her first dosage?
Well, we're going to be working on that today. Assemblyman Gottfried reached out to me yesterday, so we'll be communicating at some point over the next day or two, working with the governor's staff. One of the things this does as an expedited program is it requires the Department of Health now to register additional organizations that may produce the medical marijuana, and also
okay.
can establish new regulations which
There are only
waive some
5,
of the
right?
right,
The
which
previous bill had only 5.
exactly, which will waive some of the tight controls which were the hallmark of the original bill.
Yeah.
So this includes giving preference to registered organizations or applicants that are producing medical marijuana in another state already. So that's where you can get
Okay.
that quicker thing. Now, if it's an organization that's already been identified here in New York but is doing it somewhere else, there may be that quick, you can bring that here quicker.
So it could happen. So you
Correct.
don't know as of right now how quickly, but this could happen much faster than certainly faster than what was
Well, that's the issue. That's
Yeah.
exactly what we wanted to see
Yeah.
take place, and
Yeah.
we're hopeful now from a technical, logistical standpoint we can accomplish that. Again, we'll be talking to the governor's staff, Assembly Chairman Gottfried, and our office. So we're hopeful that this can start out very quickly.
Yeah.
Even though the Compassionate Care Act is on schedule at this point in time to be ready on January 2016, we still think there may be some, snags in that, and so this would still allow, that's why this was necessary in our opinion,
Yeah.
because it still allows, if something goes wrong and there's another delay of some type, this gives the Department of Health now the authority and the responsibility to be able to go out and try to find product for the individuals that have been identified like Mackenzie.
Okay. And Mom, tell me, I think I saw you on TV yesterday talking about you guys were carving a pumpkin at Thanksgiving, and there was an episode.
She did. She just simply sitting there carving a pumpkin, and she had a drop seizure at the kitchen table.
Yeah.
She broke that front tooth
Just
again.
a week ago.
Just a week ago.
Yeah.
And I spit out my tooth, and I said, Mom, I had to go to the dentist.
And then it didn't destroy her night, but
Yeah.
it kind of put her in a different mood from being jovial and
Sure.
carefree, and then,
Yeah.
not so much.
And some of these other medicines too have side effects, I would imagine.
Yes, they do. She's on benzodiazepines, and, we were trying to wean that off. We couldn't. She started having horrific seizures again. It alters her mood. A lot of these drugs alter her mood.
Yeah.
They're mood stabilizers.
Yeah.
We give those. So some of them are highly sedating. So you never know who's going to wake
Sure.
up in the morning,
Wow.
And this will also, as we talked about, we're very hopeful for Mackenzie, and you talked about percentages, but this also allows now them to clinically look at this. This is something we've been
Right.
talking about, because there will be now more of an opportunity to have that clinical studies to the benefits, and that will help as you consider this in the future in other ways.
And I think what I saw yesterday, maybe I misunderstood it. There is no THC in the medicine. This is different than. Explain what you were talking about yesterday.
The medicine that we're looking at they were able to genetically modify the plant to not have the THC in it.
Oh, okay.
They're high in CBDs, which our brain recognizes as well. So we're hoping that those CBDs calm.
That's what we'll do it.
That will.
So this is just the beginning of this journey here. I mean, next will be getting the medicine, and then the third part of this is, does it work?
Yes.
And I would assume also with any medicine, sometimes it works in the beginning, and then as time goes on, your body doesn't react to it the same way. So there's a lot of unknown there for you right now.
Yes, there is.
But this is a shot.
This is a shot.
Gotta take a shot.
It's worth the
Yeah.
shot.
All right, ladies, nice job. You've been strong advocates out there, and you've been a part of making this thing happen. So, great job.
Thank you.
All right, Joe, great job. I think this is big.
Appreciate that. Thank
All right,
you again.
Senator Joe Griffo. Quick break. Come right back. Talk a little football. The Bills and Jets tonight. Mr. Griffo.